Coming up next, growing mental health concerns as the pandemic drags on.
We are not Zoom creatures either.
Plus, local schools are scrambling to keep students and teachers in class and on track as COVID cases rise in the area.
And how the pandemic has stopped production of one popular treat, but has opened the door for another made in our area. The Centre County Report starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Ariel Simpson. Thanks for joining us for the Centre County Report.
And I'm David Hadar. It's been a whirlwind couple of weeks for Centre County schools as they react to changing conditions and effects from the pandemic. Last night, the State College District decided fall sports can happen, and all districts are closely watching COVID. Schools across the country have faced tough decisions in recent weeks as they grapple with how to educate in the middle of a pandemic. Centre County schools are no different as they've seen rising cases in the area, in part because Penn State students are back. Bald Eagle Area School District Superintendent Scott Graham says they're keeping a close eye.
If we suddenly had an outbreak of cases in one or more schools, then we would, obviously have to take a look at it on an individual basis.
A student at Wingate Elementary School tested positive for COVID-19 this week, and the district has decided to close the school through the rest of September. On the other side of the county, State College schools have held remote classes for the last 2 weeks as cases rise in the area. On Monday, the district announced 3 students tested positive, 2 at Mount Nittany Elementary and 1 in the high school, though that student has not been in any district buildings. Contact tracing found no additional contacts. Laura Kingship Carter has 4 kids in the district and gives the schools credit.
I have appreciated the proactive approach that the school district has taken. While not convenient and certainly a strain on every family, I think they're doing the best they can within the circumstances because I think we need the students here.
But with the recent news that State College is the second fastest growing metropolitan coronavirus hotspot in the country, it's hard to envision that students will be coming back to in-person class here anytime soon.
So the actual learning experience is, in my opinion, better with everybody home if we can't have a full in-person experience anyway.
Other than the elementary school, all schools in the Bald Eagle District are open. State College schools remain virtual for now, and Bellefonte schools have not reported any positive cases.
And breaking right now, the Pennsylvania Department of Health has announced it's setting up free first-come, first-serve COVID testing clinics in Centre County in an attempt to contain the rapid rise of the virus in the county. Also breaking, new COVID numbers are out for Centre County. There are currently 1,630 total cases, adding 30 new positive tests from yesterday's total.
The pandemic is having a huge impact on the day-to-day lives of everyone, including students from kindergarten to college, and the quarantining and isolating can take a toll on mental health. Joe Skinner takes a closer look.
When Penn State pulled the plug on its spring semester, students suddenly left friends and teachers behind and went into lockdown at home. As the pandemic dragged on, that meant few places to turn for in-person interaction. And experts say that kind of social isolation can make people feeling lonely and helpless. The CDC says there can be serious mental health effects from pandemic quarantine, including higher rates of depression, anxiety, and suicide. Kate Staley with the Penn State Counseling and Psychological Services says it's not out of the ordinary to be overwhelmed at the state of the world right now.
The one thing we're counseling people to do is to really think and titrate the amount in which they're exposed to news about the world.
While Staley says you don't want to completely disconnect yourself from the news, being able to take a break for even a couple moments at a time can be a big benefit to your mental health. It's a lot of stressful things out there, a contentious presidential election, natural disasters, and wildfires on the West Coast, including the 6th month of a global pandemic in the United States. Being able to take a break from that for a little bit can be very beneficial for your mental health and stress.
We're not trying to say put your head in the sand and pretend none of it exists, right? We're trying to say take care of yourself, and in taking care of yourself, you have to assess how much exposure to difficult news can you take.
Despite the pandemic, Staley still recommends to see your friends and family in person, at a distance, of course.
It's important to see people in person. We are not Zoom creatures either.
From University Park, I'm Joe Skinner for the Centre County Report.
And Penn State CAPS offers Zoom sessions for students. And for anyone who needs help right away, there's a 24/7 crisis phone hotline.
As COVID-19 cases at Penn State increase, some students have been forced to move into isolation rooms in the Eastview Terrace housing complex. Caitlin Frollo takes a look at life in isolation.
COVID-19 positivity rates have continually increased since students returned to Penn State last month. Now, 4 weeks into the fall semester, there have been more than 1,100 COVID cases. Just over 100 students are in isolation on campus to help slow the spread. The university set aside 400 rooms in Eastview Terrace on the east end of campus as designated COVID isolation dorms for those who test positive or have been tested after contact tracing. Darius Williams works as a quarantine and isolation coordinator, and he's responsible for walking students to their isolation rooms, answering phone calls and requests for supplies, as well as doing routine wellness checks.
They have a number where they can call in order in case they need anything, such as toiletries or anything that they forgot, packages, things of that nature. The funnest thing I probably had to deliver so far was a keyboard for one of the students. They're a musician. They're out here.
The rooms each have a bed, desk, micro fridge, and private bathroom, and come with bed sheets and 3 meals a day. Students are responsible for bringing 14 days worth of clothing, school supplies, and toiletries. Jacob Malizio spent 5 days in isolation after a friend tested positive. The TikTok video he posted about the boredom of isolation had over 17,000 views. As some students remain isolated due to potential contact with COVID-19 or a positive test result, students like Jacob are citing loneliness as the worst part of quarantining here in Eastview Halls.
Going into it, I thought, oh, this will be a great opportunity to get some work done. I'm going to have all the time in the world. But it really had the opposite effect on me.
Some students who live off campus have opted to remain isolated in their apartments. Jenna Zargorin tested positive and has been quarantined in her apartment at the Here alone. And her roommate chose to remain home after the positive test result.
I'm getting a lot of movie and TV recommendations from all my friends and being able to catch up on things that I didn't watch over quarantine during the summer.
Quarantine and isolation, a new challenge for college students in 2020 as the pandemic drags on. In University Park, I'm Caitlin Frollo for the Center County Report.
Students who have been part of the contact tracing process or feel sick should contact University Health Services to find out what to do next.
Will some fall traditions like trick-or-treating and pumpkin patches look different this year because of the pandemic? Rachel Velez checked out a local farm to see what's changing.
As fall quickly approaches, many families in the area will soon be looking to participate in some of their favorite fall activities, whether it be picking pumpkins, exploring a corn maze, or taking a hayride. And in order to keep the festivities alive this season, many local farms are making some changes to accommodate families during COVID-19. Watson Farm Market, located on Shingletown Road in State College, is just one of many farms in the area making these changes to ensure that they can provide a fun fall experience. For the last 20 years, Watson Farm Market has held their annual Fall Fest for the community. And although it may look a little bit different this year, they are still excited to see the turnout for their upcoming events. Crystal Watson is the event coordinator at Watson Farm and is excited to try to provide the community with a normal fall experience.
We've had a lot of people that had continually asked us throughout the summer, are you going to do your fall events? Are you going to do your fall events? Just because it's something that their families have done for so many years and they just wanted that normalcy in their life.
Watson's Farm is taking precautions by enforcing social distancing and masking laws, as well as modifying hayride capacities and monitoring lines. The first Fall Fest weekend will take place on September 26th. In State College, I'm Rachel Velez with the Center County Report.
Watson Farm has also extended Fall Fest for an extra weekend this year to accommodate more visitors.
The coroner's office says it finished the autopsy on a 20-year-old Penn State student found dead on Sunday. Nicholas Papadopoulos was found at his off-campus apartment complex, the Meridian. The coroner says the cause of death is on hold until toxicology tests come back in about 6 weeks. But he says there's no sign of foul play and the death was not COVID-19 related.
Protesters have filled the streets of Lancaster after a deadly police shooting. They've gathered at the police station to show their anger over a shooting on Sunday. Ricardo Munoz was shot by a police officer. Body camera video showed the officer firing at Munoz, who was chasing him down a sidewalk with a knife in hand. That officer is now on administrative leave. Police say buildings and government vehicles were damaged during the protests.
To stay calm, stay at peace, and allow this process to play out.
12 adults and 1 minor have been arrested in connection with the destruction caused in Lancaster.
It feels a lot like fall outside today. Will the cool weather stick around through the weekend? We check the 7-day forecast next. Also coming up, Alabama and Florida felt the impact of Hurricane Sally this week. We look at what it's doing now in the southeast.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority. Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're going to take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
'Cause I'm gonna stand by you.
After 11 years of planning and fundraising, construction on a new fire station for the Center Hall Fire Company has begun. A groundbreaking ceremony has held this month for the 14,000 square foot construction site on Whitmer Avenue. The fire chief says the entire project has been fully funded by the fire company's fundraising efforts. He also revealed a computer-drawn floor plan for the new station. It's expected to be finished next May.
What's left of Hurricane Sally is causing serious flooding across the southeast today. The storm made landfall on the Gulf Coast this week, bringing as much as 30 inches of rain to some areas. Reporter Christopher Hess has more.
Hurricane Sally made its way through the Gulf Coast of the United States, packing a punch with nearly 100-mile-per-hour winds as it made landfall near Gulf Shores, Alabama around 4:45 a.m. Wednesday. The slow-moving storm drenched other Gulf cities such as Mobile in Alabama and Pensacola in Florida's Panhandle. The storm was moving northwest at just 2 miles per hour upon landfall as a Category 2 hurricane, and a slow-moving system at a Cat 2 proved to be catastrophic for the low-lying areas in the storm's path. The Gulf Coast, specifically the Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama region, has had its fair share of powerful and deadly hurricanes. We saw Katrina and Rita decimate the area in 2005, but this storm is much different than those two. AccuWeather meteorologist Dan Kutlowski said that a crawling storm is a prime catalyst for high amounts of rainfall and storm surge.
The trouble with this storm is the fact it's moving so slow that the storm surge just kind of slowly rises. The water levels get higher and higher and higher, so that it's not like it's going to rise real quick and fall real quick.
Kodlowski also stated that the effects of Sally won't just be felt in the Gulf, it will also spread into the deep south once the storm weakens from a tropical system.
The rain's going to spread northeastward into other parts of Alabama, into northern Georgia, and even into parts of the Carolinas. And there could be a swath of maybe 4 to 8 inches with that going into those areas as well.
And with more than 2 months left in hurricane season, there's always a chance for more storms to strike the U.S. coast. I'm Christopher Hess for the Center County Report.
Experts are also watching other tropical weather systems, including Hurricane Teddy in the Atlantic and another system in the Gulf of Mexico.
Next week, we can see sun for the next 7 days. We'll be warming up on Tuesday, 71, so right around more of an average for this time of year, and some clouds may build back into our area by Thursday with a high of 77 degrees. And now we'll bring it over to DJ with sports.
Big Ten football is back, and Penn State fans are more excited than ever. That's next in sports. Also, coming up, State College players, parents, and fans push to bring football back this fall. The latest on last night's decision.
In 2008, he really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. but I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Bauer with sports. Last night, the State College School District Board of Directors voted 7-2 in favor of starting fall sports, including football. The decision came after a big Save Our Sports rally by athletes, fans, and parents. Reporter Rachel Velez has the story on this demonstration.
Athletes, fans, and community members rallied at State College High Wednesday night in support of a fall sports season. The crowd proudly held their signs high as they chanted, "Let them play." Other school districts in the area are already back on the field and playing games this fall. With teams scheduled to play as early as this Friday, community members are hoping that the State College Area School District will approve the plan that allows fall sports to return. John Swope with the Football Booster Club wants to see players back on the field, and he organized the rally in hopes of sending a message to the school board before it made its decision.
Especially our senior athletes. I mean, they've worked so hard, some of them 4th, 5th, 6th grade, for this moment in the sun. And we really want them to be able to have that, and it would be wrong to take it from them.
Two senior football players, Carson Franks and Sammy Knipe, also showed their support and chimed in about what this last season would mean to them.
We've been looking forward to this season our whole life. It's a really big year for both of us. It's a special year, and it'd break our hearts if that was taken from us.
We put in too much work to get here as it is.
In State College, I'm Rachel Velez with the Center County Report.
Football won't be the only sport returning to State High in the fall, as play for all other contact and non-contact sports were also approved by the school board, along with health and safety guidelines. State College won't begin play right away, but other high school football teams across our area will be in action again tonight. 3 games are on the slate, as Huntingdon plays at Bald Eagle, Penns Valley plays at Phillipsburg Osceola, and Bellefonte plays at Central. Our cameras will be covering some of the action, and we'll bring you the highlights on Tuesday's newscast. College football fans are waiting for the new Big Ten schedule to come out. The conference reversed course on its decision to postpone the season, announcing this week that teams will play starting the weekend of October 23rd. Reporter Summer Thomas says fans are ready to go.
Are you ready for Penn State football? Fans say yes, but it won't be like other years. The Big Ten made the announcement Wednesday that a delayed, shortened 2020 season will happen starting in late October, and fans erupted with excitement over social media despite the fact that there's no public sale of tickets this year. Penn State senior Ethan Cook is one of those happy fans looking for a sense of normalcy to return to town.
It makes me feel good knowing that those guys can finally get their season that they were hoping for. You know, I was happy because it's kind of like a sense of normalcy again.
During a normal fall in Happy Valley, fans would be piling into Beaver Stadium right where I'm standing. And although they can't do that this year, they're still excited to watch Penn State football through a screen. Those who have experienced fall Saturdays in State College know the town buzzes with excitement during football weekends. And these two seniors are happy to have that buzz back.
I'm just excited to have that spirit back and I don't know, I feel like we kind of need this energy back at school, even if that doesn't mean hanging out in bigger crowds or anything.
Many fans and students I spoke with also say they're hopeful that COVID-19 concerns won't shut down the season again, especially with the new safety rules Big Ten football teams will be following. Those include daily testing for athletes, coaches, trainers, and others on the field at games and practices. In State College, I'm Summer Thomas for the Center County Report.
The daily testing starts September 30th, and anyone who tests positive must sit out at least 21 days before returning to play. And Penn State will not allow tailgating on campus for fall games. The NFL rolls on for Week 2 this weekend. Both Pennsylvania NFL teams are in action once again. Following their Week 1 loss to Washington, the Philadelphia Eagles host the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday at 1 p.m. The Pittsburgh Steelers, meanwhile, will take on the Denver Broncos in hopes of maintaining their winning record and keeping pace with Baltimore in the AFC North. Pennsylvania baseball fans, this is your lucky day. Both the Pirates and Phillies have doubleheaders today, thanks to rescheduling due to COVID-19 issues. Pittsburgh will host NL Central rival St. Louis, and Philadelphia will host Toronto.
Thanks, DJ. Coming up next, while some peeps have been put on pause, others refuse to stay cooped up. We take you inside a local candy company that's making the most during this uncertain time.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Okay, Simon, what do people wear? Clothes. That's right. So it's important to learn how to dress yourself. Here's how it's done. Shirt, underwear, pants, socks, shoes. Underwear, always first, name tag on the back. Then pants and shirt. Go ahead and put this on. Now with the shirt, you want to make sure the first button's right or you have to start all over again, okay? Socks left on left, right on right. Tying the shoes, we're going to take the laces, we're going to cross them over, we're going to turn around where the bunny goes down in the hole, pull it tight, and bunny ears. Got it?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
The coronavirus pandemic has led to big changes for many businesses. One of them, a pause in production for a popular sweet treat. But another local candy maker is still going strong. Josh Starr explains.
Just Born Quality Confections, the maker of Peeps, will not be producing its famous fowl treats this season. Due to the pandemic, the company located in Bethlehem paused production in April. They resumed in a limited capacity in May, but say Peeps won't be back on the shelves until 2021. Gardner's Candies has remained in production throughout the pandemic. President Joe DiStadio believes in the nostalgia of having candy during the holidays.
We can all relate to back when we were a kid, and we loved going in the candy shop and buying our favorite candies, whether it would have been something chewy or something chocolate covered.
Gardner's Candies has been producing candy since 1897 and now has a factory in Tyrone with 8 retail locations, including one in State College.
Gardner's Candies makes 75 to 80% of its sales for the year during the Christmas and Easter seasons alone. So without Peeps on the shelves this season, factories like this one are producing substitutes like chocolate-covered caramel, chocolate peanut butter, or these chocolate-covered pretzels.
Packing supervisor Sherry Waite's favorite candy is the Car-Melt-Away, a caramel and peanut butter duo covered in chocolate.
It's a great combination and it tastes really good.
In Tyrone, I'm Josh Starr for the Center County Report.
And in case you have a candy craving this weekend, Gardner's Candies does have a chocolate-covered marshmallows to replace Peeps and other special products.
That's all for today's newscast. You can find more of our stories on our website, centercountyreport.com. Our next newscast is on Tuesday, but you can follow us anytime for breaking news on Twitter. That's at Center County REP or on our Facebook page. We also have a Center County Report Instagram. Have a good weekend.